Hey, what's up guys, this is Bellagio and I hope you guys are doing great. Today is going to be my last video talking about numbers analysis on the drop rate, the type of player you should be, or how much money investment or time investment and so on. I know many of people don't care, don't want to know about this, but I think someone has to do it, right? So I volunteer to be those someone. So hope you guys enjoy these kind of informations, resources, and so hopefully it helps you guys decide what you want to do, what you want to play, how you want to play this game, and not burn out too much, and playing it with happiness and enjoyment. So okay, let's do some recap based on my previous videos. So we talked about drop rates, we talked about type of players, we talked about theory of drop rates versus the reality, we talked about gem packs and all those stuff, right? We found that 10 pools, 10 multi-pools is somewhat like a sweet spot. Beyond that, the returns is going to decrease. So today I want to talk more on a different angle. This angle is like, how much budget do you have? And then let's that define us what type of player we can be. Okay, so look at this first graph here. I did some modification a little bit. So the lowest on this graph is the people who are free to play. So free to play, you basically spend nothing. That means on the y-axis, which is the money, you basically spend zero, right? If you're free to play, you just play this game based on the free gem that's given by the game. So that's approximately 4,340 if you log in every day, if you play all the daily quests, if you participate in all the event, and special events like anniversary or New Year's, Bandai give out more gems during that time. So if you are there the whole year and doing all the things I said, you should get at least minimum of around 4,300 or 4,400 gems. It could be more, depends on what rank you get as well. All right, so that's the baseline for free-to-play players. Then I put a boundaries. Let's say if you are spending $35 per month, meaning you are spending on a really good package like 10 gems per $1. Okay, so that is a really good package like this. I said there are really good packages that you type 3 players can spend that are worth your money, and that's about $35 per month. So if you willing to spend $35 per month, you can play this game. And then as you can see here, if you spend $35 per month, you actually will get about 678 gems per month, and that's equivalent to 6,000 per year. Around 6,100 gems per year. Okay, and that's on top of this. Okay, and then the upper boundary of tier type 3 is 679 per month. Why I set this as an upper boundary? Because if we convert 10 multis, which is our sweet spot, let's say assuming that you are the player who wants to pull 10 multi-pulls on every banners, and my estimation of the whole year there will be like about 60 banners comes out. So if we use that average number, 60 banner per year, and you want to pull sweet spot 10 multis for each of them, this is going to be the amount of money you gotta pay per month to buy gems. Okay, to have enough gems to pull that concept. So yeah, if you are beyond that point, you can call yourself a whale, because likely you're gonna get every legends that come out the whole year. So if you're a whale, yeah, this is the money you pay per month easily. Okay, it could be more because whale has also maximum. This is the minimum limit of the whale, but it would be the maximum limit of the semi free to play grinder, which is type 3. Okay, so many of you are falling in this category. Okay, majority, I said majority of the game of the players will be in this type, and then maybe 10% would be on the whale side, and maybe just 5% or 3% would be on an intense player, and maybe 1% or less would be like an extremist, which I define it very, believe me, these people exist, just so you know, it exists. Okay, all right, enough about this. Let's talk about the next one. So we talk about budgets, right? You don't know how much, you don't know when you play, you just think of you want to pull you until you get the units, right? But then you never think about, hey, how much money you actually spend for that banners, and then averagely how much did you spend for that month, averagely how much did you spend for that year, or so on. So let's think inversely. Let's say if you have amount of budget, and then this is, you're like commit to it, say $50 per month, this is you're willing to pay for this game. $50 per month, you're gonna buy every good packages, good deal, great deal, all those packages, but then convert that number into how many sweet spot banners that you can pull. These are the numbers, okay? So if you have 50, you can pull 13, approximately 13 sweet spot banners. So 13 out of 60 you gotta choose, right? That means I'm telling you that you cannot pick every banners. You have 13 out of 60, you gotta pick wisely, okay? And you have 100 budgets, it's gonna be 16.5. Yeah, let's say 17, give you like a little bit upper hand. If you have 200, if you're paying $200 per month on this game, then you're gonna get about 24 banners out of 60, okay? What about 500? You get 47 banners out of 60. This is really close to 80% of all the banners come out of the whole year. So if you spend it wisely, you might be able to acquire every unit with this much money, okay? But you know, but if you're spending at $6.79, that's basically you spend sweet spot for the whole year, and it is likely that you will get the whole every legends in the whole year, okay? But yeah, it doesn't mean that spend 500. Yeah, I just want to point out here that if you spend $180 less, it doesn't mean that this group of people will not have every legends. I think they might have the same amount of legends, just not just not the same time, just not, maybe not the exact time that the banner just drop all the time. So on a time like for example like this anniversary, you can get anniversary during New Year, Luban, Kuma, yeah. So you can choose to spend on a bigger event, and then you can get something that you never had before. So this is just want to let you know that how many banners you can actually pull to sweet spot, and then based on the budget that you have. So make it easier for you to visual yourself, okay? All right. Yeah, you gotta be selective. I want to say that you gotta be selective in terms of what banner you are pulling and you're not pulling if you fall into these groups, okay? And I think majority of us going to be like that. But then what banner to pull, what banner to not pull, it depends on the event, big or not. It could be a TM or Kisuna. These two banners comes out like not much, it's kind of rare to pull them. Even a big event like this, like anniversary, you still not able to pull Kisuna or TM legends, okay? So if you miss legends, if you want to pick, likely you don't want to miss TM or Kisuna banners all the time. Sometimes you have to pull TM and Kisuna banners because they only come out on that specific event. You cannot pull them on a big event like this anniversary, okay? So anyway, yeah, we'll go to what to pick, what not to pick when the banner is dropped. So many people, many content creators like Toski, like Stumps, like Charles Su, I'm not sure if he's still doing it, but yeah, many people do some reviews on the units I will try to do that myself if I have time. Okay, if I'm not too busy, I will also do the units analysis and then give you my feedback about the unit, whether you should pull or you should skip. Okay. All right, but that's going to be something in the future. Okay, next, this is just a summarized table, make it easier for you to see. So if you are free to play, my recommendation, not just, let's say if you're spending 0 up to like 200, okay, these group of people, I would recommend you not to pull most of the time, okay, during the year. Only pick banners that are like anniversary, half year anniversary, new year, you know, the banner that comes together with Super Suko Fest unit. That's the units you wanna that's the banners you wanna spend all your gems, not all your gems, majority of your gems to pull. Okay. Why? Because Super Sugo Fest legends are proved that they are going to be meta most of the time. Meta units meaning they're a game changer. They're gonna be main characters that used on many teams, many events. If you have them, it's gonna be easy. Yeah. So on the anniversary, on the half year anniversary, I would recommend you to pull. Okay, but then pull more. Pull how many? That depends on the type that you are. Okay, and just so you know, it is really difficult to to stay free to play in this game. At some point, at some time, you might likely spend a little bit them there, here and there. It's okay. Okay, as long as it's not hurting your life financially. Okay. All right. I don't want to talk too much about these group because these group of people they don't have anything to worry. Maybe the only thing that I want to mention is that if your budget is this much, then it's okay. But if you overspend, if your budget is this group, but then you overspend and become this group, that is something I don't want you to do. Okay, it's considered risky, and also you're going to burn yourself out, and that is dangerous. Some point, if you cannot, it's not sustainable. Okay, it's like a time bomb, ready to blow, ready to blast anytime, and when it happens, you're gonna quit the game, and then just you're not having fun anymore. Okay, so be careful on that. I don't want any of us playing this game to feel that way. All right. Yeah. Talking about extremist. I want to talk about extremist a little bit. Like they pull, my definition of extremist is like they pull pity pull, meaning all the way up to 30 pulls, to 30 multi pulls on every banners. You're gonna ask me like, that's just, you know, conceptual. Ideally, nobody's gonna do that. But seriously, with the way the game it is now, you might be able to tell that Bandai has designed the units, designed the events in a way that they want you to get duplicates. Okay, and my previous video mentioned already, if you actually gonna do pity pulls, meaning you're actually gonna do 30 pulls to get the guaranteed, there are chances that you will get 3 or 4. That is the average. Majority of most of the time, if you go up to 30, you might get 3 to 4, including the banners, the guaranteed one. So higher chance on that way. There are slim chance that you be really bad luck, you only get the guaranteed one, which is 5%. And I think it's about 10% that you will just get 2, including the duplicate, including the guaranteed. So this is the worst, one of the worst case scenarios, which is getting 2 or 1, but higher chance that you will get multiple, like 3 times, 3 duplicates or 4 duplicates legends if you go all the way to 30. Yeah, because of the numbers, it's kind of like tempting people who play the game intensely that they want to compete, and in order to compete they have to have their units limit break 150. Not only that, they have to have golden key and rainbow keys on. You know, Bandai's tried to design the game in a way that if the more you invest into the units, the better the outcome, the better the rank you're gonna achieve. So players who are really intense in this game, they have I guarantee you they have time and they have budgets to do it. But my question is, I don't know how long they can be they can stay up, you know. Sometimes too intense is not good and too low also not good. I believe in balancing, okay? So but I just want to point out that there are players that are willing to spend this much money on a game. And I was somewhere here, and I now realize that myself that, okay, I think I might have spent too much, and maybe I will change. So I will try to change from this year on. I'm not planning to pull every banners anymore, so I'm gonna be somewhere in this area now. So I will change from this used to be here somewhere here. Now I will become here somewhere. Okay. Let's call this an officially announcement of me retiring as a whale. All right. So yeah, that would be it. I hope my videos, including this one, helps you, give you different perspective on viewing this game. This is a game, but it's not a cheap game. It's actually an expensive game. To stay and to keep playing, you might have to invest times and money, but then I want you, because there is a little bit of a addiction, gambling mixing in this gacha game. So sometimes people could get lost. Sometimes people could, you know, dig a hole to themselves too deep that they are no longer enjoying. So I just want to make sure, you know, all these videos I put in, I want you guys to like play this game and having fun, okay? Not too intense, not too loose. Find your balance and enjoy the game the most as you can. All right, that's gonna wrap up my video. I hope you guys like this video. From now on, the video is not gonna be like too serious anymore. But yeah, if you like it, please hit that like. If you have not subscribed yet, do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.